I don't get it.
It's an ego thing. My dad thinks that if the Outrider can travel through hell, he can too.
Isn't the Outrider married to your mom?
Yeah, I only met him once. I was 8.
Well, if I was your dad, and you were your mom, and the you that wasn't your mom was another girl, I would never let anyone take the you mom.
That would be really sweet. It wasn't so confusing.
I'm sorry. Ooh, can I pet your pussy?
There's no irony in that, is there?
Oh, it's soft.
So, hi! Welcome to Venture Bros. Me, your host, as always, I forgot the word host, Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Nick the Red Death Friedemann.
From the Venture Brothers?
No.
Oh.
No. He's a Bruce Wayne speedster.
Oh.
He just came out last year. He's a new character.
Oh, okay. So I'm guessing he's dead now.
No, he's still alive.
Oh. Well,
And he was so popular, they're going to bring him into the CW.
can't win them all.
Yeah. And then we have Graham, Harley Quinn Mason.
Hello! I love the Joker.
Oh, no. You are dated with your reference, sir.
That's the only one I care about.
She has not loved the Joker in some time, but, that's fine.
That's the one I grew up with, And that's the one I will always remember.
I'll lend you some comics. She's a much better character now. Is she basically just a female Deadpool? Yes, but that's okay. This week, we are talking about The Better Man. Or is it A Better Man? The or a? I don't remember.
I think it's the.
Is it The Better Man?
IMDb says the.
We'll go with the then. This is yet another episode that I actually really, really like this episode, and I had totally forgotten it. Like 100% forgotten it. Other than the whole Jefferson thing, I had forgotten this entire episode. I don't know how.
Wow.
But this one does not stick with me at all, but I loved the hell out of it.
There's something seriously wrong with you. This is one of the episodes that I look forward to coming back to you all the time.
Me too.
I can definitely put my finger on why, but we'll get into that after Nick tells us everything that happens in it.
So, Brian's favorite character starts off the episode. We get a nice heaping helping of Torrid. And
That could be why I hate it. Could be. We'll get into it.
Then he opens up a portal to hell and gets killed immediately. And the Triad is very scared, and they try and stop this Cthulhu-esque monster from coming in, only to have Jefferson Twilight die and everybody else fail. And then the the Outrider comes in, saves the day, resurrects Jefferson Twilight, and starts off this thing where more or less Dr. Orpheus feels inadequate and frustrated that his old student that you find out in this episode is basically besting him in every category and has taken his wife, and more or less it's just Dr. Orpheus trying to figure out what to do about this particular thing. Only for the Outrider to get ambushed by Torrid again and get frozen in place, so they have to now save the Outrider from basically being stuck in hell. And then in this whole meantime, Dean and Hank are trying to figure out a way for Dean to get over Triana, and so they start meeting other girls at the mall, and it goes about as well as you would think, and then that's pretty much it. And at the end, Triana and Dean, quote-unquote, break up, even though they weren't dating. So
I just watched this episode, and I don't remember. Is the kiss in this one or in Operation Prom?
There is a kiss.
There's a kiss, but I don't
There's
think
a kiss in this one?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if she kissed him here or if it was at the end of the season, but this is...
It's like a fairly well kiss here.
Okay. This is the second to last episode of the season 4 part 1.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good breakdown of it. And I honestly, I think I just have such a distaste for Torrid that as soon as he shows up, I'm like, hard pass. Even though he dies in this episode twice, technically, I'm still just like, no, Torrid. I don't like Torrid. I don't know why. I just hate this guy, but I really don't like Torrid.
I don't know why either. I think he's such a perfect anti-Orpheus and Order of the Triad. Because he just takes himself way too seriously, is just completely ridiculous, and is pretty good at what he does. I mean, obviously he is successful at opening up a portal of hell. But I think it's just a great against the Triad. I honestly don't know why you don't like it.
I can't put my finger on it either. I just, whenever he shows up, I'm like, fuck this guy. I don't know what, there's just something in my gut. I don't like him. I gotta trust my gut. I'm not a Torrid fan.
See, I feel like he actually has a pretty cool send-off. Like, he opens up hell, immediately gets killed. Like, there's just
by a Cthulhu monster.
Yes. Yeah. And then comes back. I don't know why the Outrider brings him back, but comes back and then basically freezes the Outrider by sacrificing himself, and in a pretty cool way. And then that's it. That's the end of his character.
Yeah, but why the fuck did he do that?
Because so when he comes back from hell, he's like, it's a typical sort of trope. He's like, I can't escape these visions and stuff like that. Yeah. So he blames the Outrider, I'm sure, for, I don't know, prolonging his torment or something. But I don't know. Why does Torrid do anything that he does? He's an idiot.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
But you can say the same about the Monarch.
Yeah.
Why does he hate
something? He has more hatred in his heart than anybody else. We've been over this.
Hold on. Pause.
So there.
We completely glossed over this last episode, but the Monarch made a marionette hand that had strings come out of it, and not a sticking point for Bryan whatsoever. So much so that we just completely glossed over it. But a bad guy opening up a portal to hell and then sacrificing himself to fuck over somebody else, which is like a pretty cool villain move.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no, this is too far.
I said I can't explain it well. I just don't like the guy.
I draw the line here, this far, no further.
Maybe I just don't like saying his name. I don't know what it is, but I don't like Torrid. He annoys the crap out of me.
Just because he's a different version of Hot Topic store?
Yes.
I think that's probably it.
He's got those beady little eyes.
No, I think he's great. He's so terrible.
Oof.
He's awful, but he's really good at doing his job. I mean, even when they were interviewing arch nemesis at the Venture compound, he was the one who actually stole Triana and all this other shit. Like, he is the Triad's Monarch to the T, I think.
Exactly.
Boo.
That's really all I have. Like Nick was saying, is like he's a badass for what he is. You know, he comes back and it's like when he comes back from hell, when the Outrider brings him back, he's like, I can't escape the visions. He's basically already dead, and so he's like, well, I'll do the only thing that I can do and take out the guy who brought me here and sent me to hell. And he does it. And he's successful. Wonderful.
Great moment. Can't disagree with you at all. I can't disagree with anything you're saying about him. Doesn't mean I'm going to like him, though. He's just not for me.
That's fair.
And now we don't have to really deal with him anymore because he's gone. So it's,
true. Yeah.
Bonus for everyone, especially me. But moving past Torrid, I do just want to talk about the Triad in this, because this is like, for me, this is like peak Triad. Like, this is where like I want to see them. Like, I like Jefferson finally figuring out what magic he has, little as it may be. I love the Alchemist just screaming at stupid Torrid, quit being a pud. Like, there's just so much about them that's just like, this is what I love about them. Like, I love it when they're actually working together pretty well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, I think this is this is them coming into their own. They've worked out most of the chinks of their past. And I love the training of Jefferson. It's hilarious.
I just love all like the Count Chocula-esque things that like just keep popping out for him to cut up with a sword. It's just like, who made this? I assume he did, right?
I assume Orpheus did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd probably make more sense.
Considering it looks like his, sort of craft when he's trying to make the portal to hell in the Venture compound with a door and a tent.
That was so confusing. What was he trying to do?
I don't know. And I like that even the cat gets him convinced for a second. Something came through! Oh, just everywhere's your bathroom. It's just... Oh my god. I don't even love the back and forth. Wait, is he in hell? Oh, he's in hell. Because this is another. It's not totally Monster of the Week, but it's kind of close to Monster of the Week. Really, the only major story movement is Triana and Dean are definitely not going to happen. We just kind of put a final nail in the coffin on that. That's not a relationship. We're not trying to ship this one. It's not will they or won't they. It's that they won't, and we don't want them to. Because otherwise, everything else in this is really just kind of it's a little fluid. It just kind of moves a few pieces forward a little bit, but you're really just there to kind of see the triad in action.
Yeah, I mean, it shifts Triana from the Venture compound into the Outriders' house, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
But even that's okay, so here's a character that we've barely seen this season, and now we're just going to see her slightly less? Okay. Because I feel at this point, they've kind of I think this is really all we can do with her if she just stays being the moody teenager next door.
Right. Totally.
I think it's another one of those moments of just Public and Hammer knowing, all right, it's time to send this one off. We've done everything we can, time to move forward. And it's not a complete Etch-a-Sketch shake like they do from time to time at the end of seasons, but it's just kind of a middle, a little, all right, I'm going to kind of move things up a little bit, but really we're just here to have a party with the triad. And then spend some time with the boys making asses of themselves.
Right. I do think that I wish that they had given her a better send-off, but at the same time, like you said, they've never really given her much to do in the first place, so it would feel kind of weird to all of a sudden start giving her some of this screen time or energy or anything like that when we've never really... She doesn't really serve much of a purpose other than to be the love interest of Dean.
Yeah, totally. And I think this is just kind of admitting that, and this kind of going, all right, well... I guess this is when we move on.
Right. And to their credit, they give her... She has a personality. She has stuff to do. But as an audience member, she really isn't anything other than that, which is kind of unfortunate. But I like the fact that she's you know what? I'm going to do my own thing that my dad doesn't really want me to do, and this is going to be it by the end of this episode.
Yeah. I mean, you know what her motivations are. She has a personality. She is I feel like a fully fledged out character. They just don't have much to do with her. I mean, you can see that with her interaction with the Master.
Yeah, that's true.
It's she has motivations. She has, wants and needs and all of this. And then the Master's yeah, but you don't want... This is what you're going to have. This is future Dean. And, we have our baby with... I guess you can kind of call it a baby. I mean, it does have a leg growing out where its head should be. But this is what we have. And she's I don't want that. I want this. And yeah, what you say makes sense, and I'm going to do that. And you believe it. Because you even though we've had just tiny bits of her throughout the show so far, you get what she's all about.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they might not have given her much, but they definitely gave her enough where we feel like she's not just a two-dimensional stand-in. She's a legitimate character. I think it's just kind of the more established she was, the less she fit in this world that we're really spending story time in.
Exactly.
Which it's another just keep singing their praises. It just shows the intelligence of the writers of oh, we made a character that's really great, but we kind of made her not what we need anymore. So
right.
As soon as they kind of realize that, it's well, I guess we should probably just move on then, because we don't want to ruin her character just to get her back into something that we're going to use.
Right.
Which I feel like a lot of shows would do. And it would just kind of it's kind of like you watch random reference, but you watch Friends. You watch Friends season 1. Ross is a scientist and a great guy. By the end of the show, he's a fucking doofus, and it's you just watch his character just the whole way through, and it's they could have done that with Triana. They could have made her just more of an idiot or more just more like perfect for Dean. Like maybe they made her dorkier, maybe she stopped being such a punk. They could have done all that stuff and just whittled her down into something for Dean, or they could have just let her actually get like some natural growth and just move on with her life, which is what they did, which I really like.
Yeah.
But I agree, like, because she is such a major like plot point specifically for Dean, that while giving her a full-blown episode send-off would feel weird, I do think she does get a little shortchanged in a send-off. And she does come back from time to time, but I agree with Nick. I don't think this was as good as what she deserved, but she didn't deserve too much more than this. Like, they're just a hair or two off.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that I do wonder if they had given her more stuff to do building up to this moment, that it would feel kind of nice. But the thing is, too, that she... I mean, like, she deserves to be her own person, I think, as, like, a character, but also because, like, if you start parsing out kind of what she's been through, she's had her mind... I mean, they bring it up in this episode. She's had her mind wiped multiple times. There's also kind of a weird continuity thing where it's like, she had to have known the boys were clones before that because they died in front of her, and then it's like, oh, well, Orpheus wiped her mind then too.
Hundreds of them in the lawn of the Venture compound were murdered.
Yeah,
well, technically, doesn't he doesn't live on the Venture compound anymore. He got kicked off by Dr. Henry Killinger.
He did, and then they kind of he definitely got kicked off, and they never kicked out, and they never showed him move back in, but he clearly still lives nearby.
Yeah.
Right. Because in the beginning, they always made it look like he'd moved in with the alchemist, and then it looks like he's no longer living with them, and they don't really answer, did he move back onto the compound? Did he get his own place? They don't really seem concerned with answering that question. I don't think it's really like a needed to be answered question, but it is kind of weird. There's like, we don't really know for sure where he's at.
Right.
Home-wise. Other than he has to be near the Venture compound. Otherwise, it would be like weird that Triana would be on their front lawn for Dean to get all dressed up and see.
Exactly.
But does that bother either one of you that much, that we don't know exactly where he landed? It doesn't really...
No.
It bothers me a bit now that we've brought it up, but I didn't notice really much before. And I guess really right now, this is kind of the only time that we really see some sort of continuity issue being there. But other than Dr. Orpheus being somewhere else, he's like, you know what? I'm going to open up a portal to hell. I know. I'll go to the Venture compound and do it there. That sounds like something he wouldn't want to do in his own backyard.
Yeah, and that definitely sounds like something he'd do on Venture's lawn, because Rusty just wouldn't notice, and if he did notice, he probably just wouldn't care and just want to charge him money for it.
Yeah.
And of course, it would be like a little road trip for the Order of the Triad and for Triana to come by. So it doesn't really bother me that much.
Yeah, it's not something that like takes me out of the episode at all, but it is one of those kind of like, we've had that, I think, more in this season than any of the other. We do have those things where it's like, well, that's kind of a loose thread. And I think this kind of goes back to what we mentioned last week and a few times throughout the season of the whole, like, you can see the stress they had writing this season, because the first three, there's very few threads that you can kind of pull at, and this one just has a few more cracks in the armor, and it's like, it's never enough to actually make me go, well, that's not a good episode, but it is something where if you start looking at it with a critical eye, you can definitely notice them more.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it just happens. I mean, when you're writing a show this long and creating so many threads and so many different worlds and everything in this universe, it's like, yeah, there's going to be something that doesn't fit all the time.
Yeah, and honestly, if everything else around those cracks works perfectly, it doesn't really bother me. Like, it's fine. Like, if you've done everything this well so far, and the rest of the episode is fantastic, I'm just questioning where Orpheus lives now, which has fucking nothing to do with the story. It almost says more to your credit that I expect that level of commitment from you on everything you do. It's like, well, shit. I mean, not everyone's perfect, as much as I want to believe these two guys are. Clearly nobody can be. So if they're able to make my favorite show with a few moments in it, I'm okay. I can handle it.
Yeah.
But speaking of kind of like things, how about Dean hitting on some girls?
Go for the physical contact.
But here, I have a question for both of you right out of the gate that's far more important. Did Hank actually know any of the women he was catcalling to?
0.
No way. He might have been able to eavesdrop on some of their names, but no, that's the best that he could have gotten.
Nick, do you think he even has their names right?
I think he might, in the sense that, like Graham's saying, like, oh, he heard them talking to each other, and he was like, okay, that one's Amber, perfect, or this one's Hannah, perfect. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's it. That's about it.
It also would surprise me if he was just standing there in a jumpsuit and Brok's old biker jacket, asking girls' names, and he's like, oh, what's this for? Like, oh, I'm just saying hi. Oh, fuck off. And just walks away. It wouldn't surprise me if he did that as well. Like, hi, I'm Hank. Oh, hi, I'm Amanda. What's
Goodbye.
this? Just saying hi. Oh, I'll see you later, never. And it's like, I could see that happening too. Like, I could see Hank boldly walking up to any woman in the world and declaring that he is there for them and getting shot down relentlessly and not having it faze him in the slightest.
For sure.
I mean, even earlier, not related to this, but related to Hank, we have, I think it's Jefferson who goes to Hank, who's like, Hank, aren't you just a little ashamed of your ignorance? It's like, yeah, constantly. And so, that's just Hank. He's just...
Oh, was that when Hank didn't realize that gay men have normal penises?
Yeah.
Yes.
What does it look like? It looks like a real, normal thing, because it is real and normal.
And I love that calling it dingus the whole time. It's a real normal dingus.
Ugh.
Oh, God. Like, I don't remember who we were talking about earlier where you're like, oh, it was last week when we were talking, like, I would never want to hang out with Action Johnny. I would so want to hang out with Hank.
Oh, yeah.
For so many reasons. 1, I think he's hysterical. 2, I think he's actually a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
And 3, the confidence boost on my own intelligence from just hanging out with him would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Because right now I've been hanging out with a 10-month-old who I'm pretty sure is smarter than me on like a daily basis, and it gets really depressing. It's like, wow, you're a smart kid. I suck. But Hank would make me feel good.
Yep. I think Hank in 21 too. I think that would be awesome. That'd be a great.
But you wouldn't be able to get a word in edgewise.
No,
you just
that's fine. But
I just hang out.
Yeah. I'd be okay with
I mean,
that.
that'd be cool. But I mean, if I had to hang out with one of them, I'd rather hang out with Hank, for sure. Especially at Hanko.
Yeah.
I'd come up with a mystery. I'd hire him. It'd be so great. I love Hank. He's so good. Not like fucking Torrid. Couldn't help myself. I'm so happy he's gone. You guys almost had me for a moment, like going back to like maybe I was wrong, and then I just looked up a photo of him, like, nah, I still fucking hate this guy.
That's fair.
Yeah,
So-
reasoning sucks. I'm not trying to say it's good. I'm not even trying to convince anyone that I'm right. I just have to sit over here and stew in my own anger, and that's gonna be fine. What haven't we hit in this episode?
The Master.
Yeah.
Master. Oh my god, how did I forget about the Master? Do you think this is the first episode for me? I mean, we've seen the Master what, twice, 3 times?
A few times. Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times? Okay, yeah, under 5 for sure. So we don't really know
Yes.
him that well, and we don't really ever see that much of him.
No.
But this is the first time where I get the idea that the Master might not be a big fan of Orpheus. Like, I feel like he's just... The other episodes, I always felt like he was frustrating. That it was like, I'm giving you good lessons, and you're just not picking up on them. And now, this episode, where I'm like, I get that he's kind of has the reaction to the Orpheus that I do to Torrid of Orpheus walks in, he's like, this fucking guy again.
Interesting.
Because he just, like... Because even, like, in the beginning, like, his shape-shifting ways was always a little bit more subtle of like, I'm this 3-headed dog to teach you this, I'm this to teach you this, and now he's just full-on hitting him in the face with a sledgehammer, like, I'm your ex-wife, like, are you not getting what I'm saying? And it's like, no.
Well, I don't know. I don't get that impression. I think that the Master is mostly just like an impatient being. I don't think that he so much hates Orpheus is that he's just consistently frustrated that Orpheus has the same problems all the time. Like, as frustrated as he is with Orpheus, he's so much more frustrated with Triana through no fault of her own, that she's now come in like half a dozen times and had her mind wiped every time. And he's just like, yeah, we've done this like a million times before.
10 times.
Yeah.
You've been in here 10 times. And that's the thing, is like that just propels my thinking that he hates Orpheus that much more, because he knows Orpheus is wiping her mind.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think the master is...
Maybe hate's too strong of a word, but I think that he's just over it. It's just like, dude.
Yeah.
But I also think he's perfect for Orpheus. I mean, I don't think Orpheus could learn or would be willing to learn or effectively learn in any other circumstance. I think, like he says, like Orpheus says when he comes out of it, he's like, so, what did the master say? He's like, again, he, chastised me and made fun of my intelligence and this and that and the other thing and blah, blah, blah. And kind of complains through like, but I've got kind of a direction that I need to move. And then later in the episode, he's like, oh man, I just got what the master said. Oh, okay, and now I can use it effectively. And I think the master just knows how to work with him well enough. He's like, no, I have to treat you like this, and I have to talk to you like this, so that you get it when you need to get the information. And the same thing with Triana. I think he's actually way softer to Triana. And is not mean. I think he is a shape-shifting master thing. I mean, how else would you expect him to... like, if you were a shape-shifting thing, and you had to teach somebody something...
Hold on. Are you saying that I'm not a shape-shifting thing? You don't know.
This is true. Maybe this is the form that you take.
This is just what I take when I see you. When I'm not seeing you, I look like Alexandra Daddario. I'm really hot. We have the same birthday.
Exactly. And it's if you can choose your shape to fit for a certain scenario to teach somebody a lesson, why wouldn't you do that effectively? If that's another tool, another tool in your tool shed, why wouldn't you use it? Like, why would he just be his own form? Which, who knows what that looks like? Maybe it's a Chithlu. I don't know. But he uses this as it's just a teaching tool that he has, and it works effectively every single time.
Yeah. I'm reading the book now because I read it this morning, and I want to back up Graham's point, is that Doc Hammer says that he is the master. He has all the right answers. He's just an asshole and gives them to you in the worst ways possible in order to teach a lesson.
Yeah. Okay, well then maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he doesn't hate him, but I still just kind of get that. Maybe it's just because it's kind of like, maybe it's a mixture of both. It's kind of what Nick was saying earlier, where it's just he's frustrated that every time he comes with a problem, it's basically the same problem. So he's going to still give the answer, but it's still just like, maybe he's making his answers more convoluted. Maybe he's just making things more difficult because it's like, dude, I'm giving you the tools you need, and you keep coming back to me with the same problem.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I think he's fed up because imagine hypothetically, like, you have a friend who's just like coming back to you with the same problems. You're going to probably get more creative in trying to be like, I need you to see what I'm seeing. And I think that that's kind of what it is, that it's just like, I don't know, now we'll do Catherine the Great's horse. I don't know.
I forgot about that one.
It's great.
That's so good. But yeah, I think you're kind of both right, and I'm just admittedly wrong on this one. You're probably I think you're right. He doesn't hate him. It's just I think it's just a mixture of frustration and just, I'm very good at my job, and why are you not getting this? Like, how many different shapes do I have to take that are very obvious for you to finally understand? And I think that being his ex-wife is like his. Like, I think that's his Hail Mary pass. Like, if you don't get this, dude, then we're done. Like, this one is very obvious. Like, I'm sitting on the ass of a teenager. Like, just way over-sexualizing his ex-wife. Like, just... Dude,
of course.
Get it.
Here's the question I have, is that I'm always wanting more of the master. The question is that, like, is the master human? Is he just like, he has his own realm, or he teaches people kind of like the ways of magic? Like, I don't think we're ever going to get an answer, to be honest. I don't think I really want an answer, but I'm just curious what both of you think.
He might have been human, but now I think he's something different.
I think I would put him in the same category I do Killinger and the Investors, and that's sort of like not quite human, but not quite not human.
Right.
and I think this is just kind of where he lives. So who knows?
Makes sense.
I had heard a
Triana's
theory,
closet.
and I tried to find it once, but there was a theory online that Killinger is the master, and this is just him when he's in his own zone. And I had read it, and I'm like, that's kind of interesting, but I don't really see it either. Like, it doesn't really work for me.
Right.
But I think it's just people trying to figure out who the hell the master is.
Right.
It's like, I like that people are out there thinking and coming up with ideas, but I don't think that one's quite on the money. I think that was on Reddit, or maybe it was somewhere else. But yeah, either way, it was a while ago that I found that one. I'm like, that's interesting, but it's not, I don't think it's right.
Totally.
But I love those sort of theories of like, I've cracked it, and it's like, I'm not sure if you have.
Yeah.
But keep trying. What haven't we hit on this? Is that everything? I feel like that's everything.
That's everything I had notes about, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely everything I had notes on.
Just, there were so many good lines and great moments in this episode.
Are you saying we should move into quotes?
We can. Do we each get 6?
Well, why don't you go first, Graham?
No! Yeah. There's too many to choose from.
All right,
Exactly.
I'll go first.
All right.
I've taken it.
Go.
Mine is from the Master, where he's Orpheus's ex-wife, and he's holding her breasts, and he goes, "You can bounce a penis off of these."
Well, there goes my favorite line of the whole episode.
Damn.
So graphic.
That was so good. Graham, go ahead. Take one of your 6,000.
Well, do you want the Matthew Esco line? Or do you want the... No. So in the training with what's his name? Jefferson. After the Jefferson training, he's like, "What? 85? Where did I mess up?" He's like, "What? You killed Matthew Esco. He was wearing punctuation on his suit. That's a total bad guy move. He helps people get free money from the government. That's a total good guy."
That was such a great moment. Mine, for some reason, it's just the one moment in the episode that really makes me laugh out loud. And so much of the episode just makes me chuckle, but there's one moment that just gets me like a good solid ha, and I don't know why. This one's just a weird one for me, I guess. But for me personally, the moment when they're in hell and Triana's cat walks up onto the table and looks at Orpheus and like, "I don't like the gray cat food. Tell your daughter I don't like being scratched by the tail. She's just not getting it." And then he jumps up to the ceiling and walks backwards out of the room. Like, it's like specifically be like, "Tell your daughter I don't like being scratched by my tail. She's just not getting it."
That's amazing.
I also like The Alchemist, like right before then, he's like, "I don't know, this doesn't really seem like hell all that much." And then that happens. He's like, "Oh, yeah, that's much better."
There we go.
Amazing.
Okay. That's everything for today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, next week, we have coming up the final episode of the first half of Season 4. And honestly, I'm pretty excited about this one. What's the name of it again? I just watched it this morning.
Something in pinstripes. Gentlemen in pinstripes?
That sounds... I'm going to look it up.
Sounds close.
Pinstripes and Poltergeists.
There we go. And it's... I never remember the name of it, but it's a very good episode, and I'm excited to do it. And then the week after that, we're diving into the back half of Season 4, which is...
Diving Bell versus the Butter Glider.
That is my least favorite episode of the entire season, at least from what I remember. I'm hoping that it has aged well, and I will enjoy it this time. Because that's usually the episode of Season 4 where I'm like, I don't know about that one. But I haven't watched it in a long time, so hopefully I've just been wrong all this time. I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. And we're just getting ever closer to Hank Co., and I'm so excited. Quick round of plugs. Be sure to check out After the Hype every Thursday at 10 a.m. Be sure to check out Samwise every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Be sure to check out Demon Days every at 10 a.m. And that's everything I have. Be sure to check out athpod.com. Email us at athpodcast@gmail.com. Reach out on Facebook. Talk to us. Chat with us. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you don't want. That's all I got. Anything from you guys?
Nope.
Nada.
Nope and nada. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening. And bye.
Bye-bye.
I-bibe.
Bye-bye?
I-bibe. It's bye-bye backwards.
Ah. All right. Bye.
That was worth it.